What's up YouTube, Cap over here, and welcome to the first break of the RBL. As this week, it may be a break, but we're going to do a couple battles, have a bit of fun, and see what really works out. And I'm going to bring you a mono-type battle against the creator of the league, the Jewish Giraffe. And I know whenever we have a battle, either A, he sweeps me, or B, it's a really close battle. I guess that pretty much covers how a battle can go, possibly. Anywho, be sure to smash that like button and show your support for both myself and the creator of this RBL league. He's been really awesome, and I always look forward to battling him. He's a really great competitor, and he's probably one of the top battlers in the league, so that's gonna always be interesting. But as you can tell, I've got an all bird team over here. Yeah, so pretty much it's an all flying type team. He brought in an all ground type team, which is pretty interesting how that worked out, because he doesn't have stab, but a lot of these mons can potentially carry rock moves, or in Nidoqueen's case, a ice type move, or in Gastrodon's case, ice type, or in Mamoswine's ice type. So he really did have a lot of advantages in this battle because he has ice and rock, and I don't really have a lot of things that can be super effective other than Hawlucha, or Articuno can do some work. And I unfortunately did not bring in a defogger because I'm like, oh hey, what are the chances of him bringing an all ground or rock team? Not so great, not so great. Anywho, we're gonna see over here that he's got a pretty physical team, so Starmie can put in a lot of work. I just got to take down Gastrodon and Nidoqueen. That's my main goal. If I can get that happening, then I'm gonna look like I'm in a pretty decent position. And we'll get this battle on its way. As I was nervous. I'm really nervous about this battle because the Jewish Giraffe is an awesome battler. So I figured I'd send out my Rockhawk Jr. Rockhawk Jr. can potentially set up, and I can start to do a bit of scouting. Of course, the Santa is gonna come up, which sucks. And at this point, I'm like, all right, what sort of Hippowdon is this? Does this Hippowdon have a Stone Edge? And if it does, then I'm in really big trouble. So I do some scouting. I want to see if Stone Edge is going to appear, and it does, which is a bit unfortunate, which means I cannot stay in, and I have to switch into Skarmory just because that's the best play I can do at this moment. Skarmory won't exactly take out Hippowdon, but it does wall Hippowdon to a point where he's going to be forced to switch out. So I'm going to send out my Dynablade. Oh yeah, Rockhawk Jr., kudos to Crump for coming up with that name. It's a perfect name for Hawlucha, and I sort of stole it from him. So I do set up my rocks. They don't do a lot in this battle. It's just residual damage. So if we're forced to switch out over and over again, then hey, that can happen. As I don't have a defogger, so I'm gonna have to really try to take out his team. It's gonna be a long battle. It's gonna be a long battle, but hey, we're in this for the long haul, and it's something I had to do. My team was badly outmatched, and I had to make this predictable save plays while he's just going to go for a substitute. So this is the substitute Mega Garchomp. I don't really know what it's going to do. I was really scared of it potentially having Flamethrower, but to my relief, it did not have Flamethrower. It wasn't the mixed Garchomp, so that's really awesome to see. As he's just going to go for the Rock Slide, do a decent amount of damage, and I have to go for the Brave Bird because I got to break the sub. That's got to happen because this thing can potentially wreck blades, or wreak havoc on my team, which is frightening. It's really frightening. So I do know I have to keep this Dynablade around for a long time, for a very long time, because it does wall a decent amount of things on his team. So I'm just gonna go for the Roost, heal up a decent amount of HP, and at this point, he does go for another substitute. I'm okay with that. I was just gonna go for Brave Bird at this moment because I just sort of clicked Brave Bird. I was hoping to see how much damage I could see Brave Bird would do. And it does take out the sub, which means it's going to do a decent amount of damage. And if he goes for another sub, then I'm going to be in a pretty solid position, as he's going to be forced to withdraw and go right into his Whipped. Who's Whipped? Why? Oh, Whipped. Oh, cool Whip. And I'm just gonna go for a Brave Bird, which is not so bad. I'm gonna do a decent amount of damage, but Nidoqueen scares me. I know I do about half, but That's not very good. I'm not in a solid position at all. I'm gonna have to go into Air Canada because you know what? Free healthcare in Canada. And this is Togekiss. And sometimes when you do board Air Canada, you get a bit frustrated because the flights is just like, oh man, come on, really? Gotta go through all this and that and this. And there's a bit of frustration when you go on Air Canada. And I feel like Togekiss, there's a lot of frustration when you go against Togekiss. So this is my lefty, fully invested, because there's not a lot of special defensive Birdmons out there. Yeah, there's not a lot of those out there. It was really surprising. So I fully invested in HP and special defense, as I'm forced to go for Air Slash, and hopefully I can get a flinch. And I'm like, alright, get one flinch, that's pretty awesome. I outspeed the Nidoqueen, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. At this moment, I thought I was just going to sack off Togekiss, whatever damage it does, it does. And I end up getting another flinch, which is, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry because we've all been there against a Togekiss. The Serene Grace, it really came through, and I can take down Nidoqueen and still have my Togekiss around at over 50%. So, Air Canada, you may be frustrating, but you came through for me. You came through for me, which is fantastic. At this moment, I knew I can go for either A, Roost, or B, Air Slash, and potentially take out this Mon. But I decide ultimately that he's going to go for a Stone Edge, most likely. Most likely he's going to do that. And I was in a predicament over here because seeing that it was a crit. That's a crit over there, which sucks because it does a lot of damage, which means I might be forced to go for another Roost, or I have the nasty plot on my Mon, so I was so close to really setting that up. I have Baton Pass and nasty plot, and I was really close to clicking one of those buttons, but ultimately I decided Air Slash, because you know what, setting up is overrated, and I'll just get buffeted by the snow or the sandstorm, because this residual damage, it sucks because I'm always getting hit by either sandstorm or rocks, and somehow my team is staying relatively healthy with all of these Roost users over here. So I'm going to reveal over here that I have the nasty plot. So I'm going to go at +2. It's no problem. He goes for the Scald, and what do you know, Air Canada gets burned. That's a bit unfortunate. There's no evacuations going on over here, but hey, it happens a couple times and we prep for it. I thought, hey, most likely he's gonna switch out because Air Canada is in a solid position. I could just Roost and do all those shenanigans because that's what I could do. That's what I can totally do, but he actually stays in, which is surprising because if I take this thing out, that means there is no Nidoqueen nor Gastrodon. So I'm almost there. I'm really close, but he has Clear Smog, and that's, what do you know? What do you know? The Juice Giraffe brought in a Clear Smog Gastrodon. I did not. Even when you play, I don't really see Gastrodons that much that carry Clear Smog, so that was really cool to see, and it seemed like he prepped for it. It seemed like it, but it's just luck of the draw. I'm gonna go for Hurricane over here. I was hoping I could take it down, but Gastrodons are bulky. They're really bulky, and my Pidgeot is just gonna get hurt by everything in life, which sort of sucks. And I'm doing all right. I'm still in a decent position. I know my Togekiss is burnt and pretty much down, and I know that Pidgeot is pretty much going to go down in the next turn because one of his Mons is Scarfed, and I still have yet to figure it out. So I'm going to see the Exactor Drill come through, and this scares me because I need to see if it is Scarfed. It outspeeds me, and I'm frightened because I thought it was Scarfed. But then I realized it's under the sand, and the Sand Rush is a thing, so well, snap. Did not realize that. In the battle, I thought it was Scarf the whole time, and I saw the moves change up, and I'm like, how's it doing this? What is it? What? No. So unfortunately, he didn't flinch me, and I can just go for the Roost over here, get back to full health, and the sandstorm will subside. So that means this mon's a bit slower now. A bit slower, as this war is going to continue. Medea and Dynablade. This is going to be a common occurrence where you see these two mons face off, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. You can see that he really wants this sandstorm up, and that rock slide does absolutely nothing. It does scumbag damage. As he predicts, I would go for another roost, and I'm just gonna go for a rock slide because I know I have to do some damage on this thing. At some point, maybe I could have switched out and gone into a different mon, but I knew ultimately that I still have the proper mons to take out his team and do some damage. And if this thing comes in and sort of, if it hits me with a physical move, it's gonna suffer a lot of damage. So I can keep on setting stealth rocks up over here, and I'll be in a decent position. He's gonna actually take more damage because that does absolutely nothing. And he avoids another rock slide. For some reason, Starmy can't hit the rock slide, which is a bit unfortunate, but Mammoth Swine will come on through, which this is huge that he got rid of the rocks, because Mammoth Swine would have taken a decent amount of damage. I set up my rocks over here, and Mammoth Swine is now, it looks like Mammoth Swine's floating. It sort of does. For some reason it looks like. So I decided to sack off Air Canada. I know it's not going to be taking hits that well, and at this moment I figured, hey, this Mammoth Swine is most likely scarfed. Most likely. So Air Canada is finally going to go down, and I'm like, oh, Air Canada did the job. Well, not so bad. So I want to see what sort of move he would lock himself into, and just judging from this is a Scarf Mammoth Swine. It does a decent amount on the Icicle Crash, which is frightening, but I know I need to keep on doing residual damage to this thing, and Rock Slide can potentially take it down a couple times. He misses this Icicle Crash, which is a bit unfortunate, but that is the accuracy of Icicle Crash. Sometimes you'll miss, sometimes you'll flinch, and sometimes you'll just do a crit or something like that. So at this moment, I'm totally fine where I need to be, because I know that Halucha can come in and sort of sweep up the rest of the team over here as long as this Mammoth Swine is gone. I think the Jewish Giraffe knows that he needs to keep this Mammoth Swine around, because that's his win condition right over there. If I get past that, then I'm good. But his other win condition over here is his Hippowdon, because Hippowdon walls everything on my team, because I don't have a Togekiss anymore. I don't have a Pidgeot, and the only special attacking mon that I really do have is an Articuno, who is Choice Scarfed. And I don't want to come in against a Stone Edge at all, so I do realize that I gotta wear out the Stone Edges, so that's 16 turns of staying in here and potentially not taking the Stone Edge, which is frightening because it's gonna end up into a stall war between myself and this Hippowdon, and it's just pretty basic over here. It's just gonna be me sometimes going for Stealth Rock and Roost. Sometimes I'll go for the Brave Bird, because I see that Brave Bird actually does a decent amount. It does a decent amount to a point where I could just keep on going for Roost or something like that and try to take or do a decent amount of chip damage on it. But I'm also very wary of going for, as you can tell, he can go for an Earthquake and do a whole bunch of damage on me. So I decided to go for a Stealth Rock, as we see that he's just going to simply slack off, and I'm like, well, snap. This is going to be a lot of mind games, because A, I go for Roost and he gets a super effective Earthquake on me. B, I go for Brave Bird, but I get some residual damage on myself. Or he goes for Stone Edge and gets a decent amount of damage off of me. So it's going to be a tough battle. At this moment, I have to go for Rock Slide or Earthquake or something like that, because in real time, this took a while. It took a long time, and it's a bit stally, it's a bit cheeky, it's a bit salty, but I had to do what I had to do in order for me to make this battle somewhat competitive. I knew Earthquake's going to be coming, but at this point I knew I can win this war. I can keep on roosting Unless if he gets a crit, then Starmie's gonna go down and potentially I might lose the battle in that moment. So he thankfully goes for a Stone Edge, and I'm at a decent amount of health where I'm okay with this. I can go for a Rock Slide and try to get some damage off. If I had Toxic on this thing, then maybe the battle would have gone a bit quicker, but hey, what can you do? What can you do? As you can tell, it's just going to be Stone Edge, me clicking Stealth Rock, because I do know that the more he keeps using Stone Edge, the more my Birdmons can actually come out and wreak havoc, because Earthquake doesn't do anything. So I do go for another Roost over here, fully aware that if he goes into Earthquake, it might have taken me down. It might have done a decent amount of damage. Rock Slide is doing a lot, and plus it could potentially flinch. And it's frightening. At this moment, it's a really, really scary moment for myself, because I gotta get this Garchomp to in range where Earthquake or where he can't use Substitute. So I do make a prediction over here. I have to sack off something, and I was hoping he'd just go for Earthquake, but what do you know? He goes for the proper move, and Top Gun is going to do absolutely nothing in this match. And I have to go right into Articuno, because that is the only Mon that can help me right now. So Articuno is going to take something down at this moment. It is Scarfed, it'll outspeed everything on his team, and Garchomp, the Mon that was doing the most amount of damage on my team, goes down, because that Rock Slide, Earthquake, it does a lot of damage. And Mamoswine will come in once again, suffer a bit of rock damage, and I have to go for another Ice Beam, because I gotta try to get as much damage, plus rocks would take me down, I think. And if I had gone a bit more damage off of this Mamoswine, then I would have been in a really, really solid position, but this Icicle Crash will take me down. And Articuno will do some things. We'll do some things, but at this moment, it's looking pretty grim. It's looking pretty bad, and I have to go for a Roost over here, because Mamoswine can sweep my whole team. It can do that. So I go for a Roost over here. I have to keep on getting all of this HP back and hope that he doesn't flinch, and potentially he could miss. So he's gonna keep on going for Icicle Crash, and I have to keep on going for Roost, because that's the only thing I can do. That is the only thing I can do. So he gets a flinch, finally, and at this moment, I thought it was GG, call it a day, my birds have failed me, but it's looking pretty grim. It's looking really, really grim. My last Mon is the Rockhawk Jr. He's going to suffer a bit of rock damage, and I was hoping that the Citrus Berry would activate so I could outspeed this thing, but he misses. And let me tell you how huge that is, because not only do I get my Substitute up, I will get my Unburden boost up, and I can continue on Drain Punching for days and days. So this was huge. This put me right back into the battle, that miss on that Icicle Crash. It was so unfortunate, because you're going to see over here that Sandstream is going to come back up, but I can go for a Drain Punch, and my Acrobatics is also activated. So not only is Unburden activated, Acrobatics activated too. And Hawlucha looks so awesome going for the Drain Punch. That just launch over there. And I'm so happy to see Hawlucha putting in some fine work. So this tells me, I was hoping that he ran out of Stone Edges over here, because I do make a prediction. I have to go for the Swords Dance, and I end up going for the Swords Dance, which means now I can officially sweep his team, hoping that I can sweep his team. So I'm going to go for a Drain Punch over here. He can tell that I'm Guts active or Unburden activated, which will easily outspeed this Mon even under the sand. Once again, this is a point of realization that if I hadn't had Unburden, I wouldn't outspeed this drill. Not at all. It would have been a bad time, a really, really bad time. So Mamoswine, the Scarf Mamoswine is going to come in, but once again, the Unburden boost is going to come in clutch, and Drain Punch will easily take out this Mamoswine. So at this point, or I'm saying at this point a lot, but it is it left a bitter taste that the only reason that I did win was because he missed and a couple hacks, but that's Pokemon 2 at the same time. And at some point I did realize that if he kept on going for Stone Edges, then it wouldn't take me down, and I'm pretty sure a +2 acrobatics on this thing would take down the Hippowdon. So we do walk away with, he ended up forfeiting, there we go, I can speak English, the match, because I think he ran out of Stone Edges, or even that, I think the +2 acrobatics would have two-shot it because I still had my substitute up. So either way, it was a really awesome match. I'm really happy that we got our mono-type battle in, and the Jewish Giraffe is still a really great battler. The only wins that I've gotten on him were a 1-0 win. The wins that he's gotten on me were like 6-0, 5-0, always huge scores on the one side. So, oh boy. Next week we're going to be going against the Jewish Giraffe too. So it's going to be like sort of a back-to-back thing going on over here. And this is just a little preview of how close these battles are going to be. I'm definitely looking forward to battling him again, and I'm pretty sure he's out for revenge, and he's gonna bring in a powerful team. So thank you very much, the Jewish Giraffe. I really enjoy our battles. I'm so sorry about those hacks and the miss. That's the only reason I won the battle. It wasn't due to skill or anything. It was just the miss mattered so much, and at that moment you would have won. You pretty much had the match. But it's really cool to see Rock versus Bird. Literally, it's taking two birds, or knocking two birds with one stone. That's what it was, literally. That's right. The only time I get to use that saying and make it related to Pokemon. But if you enjoyed this, be sure to leave a comment down below. You know, do whatever you want to do. And I hope you guys enjoyed that. I'm so sorry that if it was a bit stally. It was just something I had to do in order to make the battle somewhat competitive and close. But yeah, so we're going to be taking a week break. Next week we're going to be going against the Jewish Giraffe, coach of the San Francisco Girafarigs. And I look forward to that. So thanks for watching. And this is Cap, signing off.